Another zone setter. Steel zone. Steel wish. This time, it's not a master fair. It's not a poke fair. In fact, it's a seasonal. And if you don't know what that means, we have a reduced chance of getting a random 5-star. From the 12% chance of a master fair to a 10% chance of a poke fair to a 7% chance of a seasonal / spotlight. Does this reduced chance, make her deserving to be scouted still? Or is it, pass or something like that? Anyway, in this video, we are going to discuss just that. So, strap on your seatbelts, hit the thumbs up button, and enjoy watching. Let's do this! Yo, this is Sol, also known as SPL Gamma, also known as Spatial Gamma, also known as Grunt. Yeah, this team's called Grunt. And this is Pokemon Masters EX. Guys, I was actually planning to combine Palentine's Marnie and Palentine's Base analysis into one video. Unfortunately, I ran out of time. And I do not want to, make myself sick again. I realized that if I lack sleep, my cough returns, as I have just recovered from COVID a couple of weeks ago. It's still not perfectly fine, so I don't want to exert myself too much. This is my analysis for Palentine's Marnie and Mawile. And this is the first out of the two Palentine seasonals this month. Next one, Palentine's Bay, is coming out on February 2 or February 1 evening if you're on the other side of the world. Yeah, there are 4 confirmed units or sync pairs coming this month, excluding the sync pair that might come out, that will come out on February 28th, which is the Master Fair. And before I continue, here is the schedule. So we have Palentine's Marnie coming last day of January, or start of the end of the month, start of February, something like that. February 2 we have Palentine's Bay. February 5 we have the reruns of Palentine's Serena and Palentine's Dawn. And if you're not aware, they both have updated voice lines. In fact, I'm trying Serena out in battle and I'm kind of feel weirded out. It's so different from the original voice lines that I'm not used to using Palentine's Serena, at least. I haven't exactly used Palentine's Dawn in battle that much. But Palentine's Serena feels like a completely different character right now with the new voice lines and stuff. February 10, we have Cyrus or Signusuit Cyrus's Poke Fair Scout. And on February 14, that's Valentine's, we have Signusuit Dawn's Poke Fair Scout. Now, there's another banner, which is the Red and Classic Blue banner, which is very good. It's a combined banner. It's a combined Poke Fair Scout, probably 1.5% chance of scouting for either Red or Classic Blue. You might want to consider that as well, especially if you don't have Classic Red or Red, because it's a very good sync pair. And you might want to check that out as well, and considering that's also a Poke Fair. Now, in terms of these sync pairs over here, the first 2, or rather the first 4, are seasonals. Seasonal banners share the same rates as Spotlight Scouts, which is a 10% chance or 7% chance of giving you a random 5-star sync pair of your choice. Not of your choice, sorry, but a random 5-star sync pair with your Scouts, as well as a 2% chance, at least for Palentine's Marnie and Palentine's Bay, 2% chance of scouting for them. In terms of this combined banner for Serena and Dawn, it's a 1.5% chance scouting for either of them. That's like a combined 3% chance, as well as same thing, a 7% chance of scouting for a random 5-star. In the meantime, these two are Pokefair scouts, meaning there is a 10% chance of scouting for a random 5-star and 2% chance of scouting for either of them. Now, there are advantages to seasonal scouts, and that is on your first 3 multiples, you get candy coins. So, Palentine's Marnie is a tech sync pair. You get 3 tech move candy coins for your 3 multiples. Palentine's Bay is a support sync pair. You get 3 tech support move candy coins for scouting for Palentine's, or rather for doing your first 3 multiples. And then Palentine's Serena and Palentine's Dawn, if you scout for them, if you're able to scout for them, for the first 5 times you're able to scout for them, you get 3 custom power-ups for either of them, whichever you're able to scout for. So that's the advantage of them. Meanwhile, Pokefair scouts, these two do not give you gifts when you're able to scout for them. You get the satisfaction though of getting the sync pair of, you know, whatever you're wishing for. Now, let's move on to more detail with Palentine's Marnie, guys. So, if you see this screen, congratulate yourself. And by the way, I'm uploading this, by the way, a couple of hours before Palentine's Marnie comes out. So, hopefully this will give you a last-minute decision changer or something. So, don't let your guard down. Just because you're cute, we'll eat you right up. Nice. Yeah, so basically she has 2 moves, or 2 Pokemon moves. She has Growl, she has Iron Head. Growl is a 1-move gauge attack that hits everyone, no damage, lowers everyone's attack stat -1, except if the opponent has Impervious or I think Headstrong, attack cannot be lowered. So unless the opponent has those types of passive skills, you will not be able to lower their attack stat. Iron Head has a 30% chance of making the opponent flinch. It's a steel type attack that hits a single opponent. Now, trainer move, she has Steel Wish, just like the other wishers out there. We got Renegade Cynthia, we got who's the other one? Lucas. We also will get Cyrus later on, or Signasuit Cyrus with Dark Wish. This is the 3rd Well-Wisher, terrain, I don't know, type wisher or something, whatever you want to call that. 2 move gauges, 2 MPs. You can get an MP refresh for Still Wish if you have 3 copies of Palentine's Marnie, 3 out of 5. Only at 3 out of 5, you get an MP refresh with your Still Wish. Keep that in mind. Shout It Out is a 2 MP trainer move. It raises your attack stat +2, it raises your defense and special defense +1. So by using this twice, you get your attack stat +4, you get your defense and special defense +2. And then her sync move, Sweetheart Steel Impact, makes, you know, Mawile Mega Evolve into Mega Mawile. As you can see, the stats increase. Attack stat goes up from 385 to 462, and defense goes up from 187 to 224. These are 5-star stats, so if you have her 6-star EX, that's gonna be a lot higher. In fact, the attack stat will be above 500, and the defense stat will be somewhere above 250, 260, 270. A little bit more. Somewhere there, somewhere there. And the HP will be at 681 if you make her 6-star EX. So keep that in mind. Very high attack stat. Passive skills have a lot to do with the buffing. Terrify 2 at the start of the battle lowers everyone's attack stat -2. And Feeble 2 lowers everyone's defense stat -2. And Team Sharp Entry 1 is a very good thing. It raises everyone's critical hit rate +1 at the start of the battle. So at the start, you don't need to use Dire Hit All or Dire Hit All Plus. You have a +1 critical hit rate, And +1 is actually a 50% chance of landing a critical hit on the opponent. If I'm not mistaken, let me check. Critical hit rate masters. Okay, let me clarify this first. I want to know for myself as well. +1 is 50%, +2 is 80%, and +3 is 100%. Again, if you use a sync move, this will be innate -1 critical hit rate. So if you have +3 critical hit rate, it's equivalent to +2 critical hit rate, 80% chance, unless you have soften up, you know, a passive skill. There's no passive skill called soften up or a sync-grid tile called soften up. In fact, I would love to have soften up as a lucky skill. It's not there, but maybe the game could give us soften up so that we will be able to kind of hit every single time with a critical hit on the opponent. That would be cool. Anyway, guys, so lucky skills for her. First thing is, you know, the default thing for strong attackers like this is Critical Strike 2. Critical Strike 2, whenever the attack is a critical hit, it becomes around 20% stronger. There's Superpower 3, which is the new one, obtainable by Deluxe Lucky Cookies. Thing with Superpower 3 is that the opponent has to be weak to Steel type. If the opponent is not weak to Steel type, it will not trigger. And you know, there's such a thing as off-type damage. Like, a lot of sync pairs are very good even if the opponents are not weak to their type. So by giving Superpower 3, you are disabling Marnie from performing her best in off-type. Sure, she can probably still finish stages, but not as good as Critical Strike 2, which also triggers every single time, even in off-type damage with a critical hit. So just keep that in mind if you are deciding whether or not to give Superpowered 3 to Marnie and stuff. But yeah, just keep that in mind. And speaking of which, guys, there are a couple of days left for the Legendary Gauntlet. I sure hope you are farming the event. And by farming, I mean just playing one stage repeatedly or playing multiple stages, then resetting, then playing, then resetting, then replaying, and something, because you can get an infinite amount of crunchy lucky cookies, creamy lucky cookies, crispy lucky cookies, and chewy lucky cookies. Probably the last two cookies you don't need, but crunchy lucky cookies and creamy lucky cookies, that's basically Critical Strike 2 as well as Vigilance. Best source, you can farm that infinitely in this event. Just pick your favorite stage. If your favorite is Entei, just pick your favorite water types. Archie, May, Barry, whatsoever, Signusuit Blue, blah blah blah. If you're picking, my favorite is actually Cobalion. And the way to defeat Cobalion easily is to bring tankers together with N, or rather Anniversary N. With other sync pairs, it's a little bit harder. Anniversary N actually ignores the opponent's passive skills. So it's my favorite stage farming of choice. Entei's last bar of HP burns you, and with horrible RNG, you can actually lose the stage on auto. So I just, you know, set my phone to auto. My team is Anniversary N, Evelyn, and you know, whatchamacallit, Skyla. And speaking of Evelyn, guys, today is actually the first day you can have 20,000 battle points. So you can get your second BP Master Fair today. I'm not picking though. I don't need Cobalion and Regirock at the moment. I think we might be able to get a new one announced probably next month in the anniversary, who knows. So I'm holding on to my Master or BP Masters ticket or whatever you want to call that. So yeah, guys, farm the event. You know, just set it to auto, pick your best teams, experiment, explore, first look at it. See if it's possible to auto that. If not, then probably switch to a better team or something. Do something else. Keep the volume on or something. Then once you hear the victory sound, go back to your phone, reset, play again, and stuff and stuff and stuff. Just my advice to you guys. So, let's move on, guys. So, these are the notable synchron tiles for her. 1 out of 5, you get Sand Shelter, which protects you from damage from a sandstorm. Steel type, you know, if you want to pair up with Raihan, Raihan has a lot to do with sand. There's Sand Blaster 5, I think it's a multiplier for his sync move. So this will allow her to pair up with Raihan and pair up with a sandstorm unit without receiving damage from sandstorm. Shout It Out MP Refresh 2 is available at 1 out of 5, which is good. Again, Shout It Out raises your attack stat by 2, raises your defense and special defense plus 1. So every time this refreshes, you can have your defense and special defense raised by 1 stat, as well as maximize your attack stat. 2 out of 5, you get Endurance. So basically, at the start of the battle, if you have full HP, you have an Endure status. Iron Head Aggravation 1 doubles the chances of making the opponent flinch with Iron Head. So Iron Head is a 30% chance of making the opponent flinch. With Aggravation 1, that's around 60%. And, you know, Entei likes to be flinch. But then, if you're gonna use Marnie on Entei, remember that Marnie is weak to fire. So keep that in mind as well. But nice flinching for her. Metallic Acceleration 2, if the field is Steel Zone, basically speeds up your move gauge. Power Posture, the lower the opponent's attack stat, the stronger your Iron Head is gonna be. So you have Growl, 1 move gauge, hits every opponent. The lower the opponent's attack stat, the stronger your Iron Head is gonna be. Steel Wish, Critical Eye 1. Remember, you start the battle with +1 critical hit rate because of Team Sharp Entry 1. By getting this, after using Steel Wish twice, you get your critical hit rate maxed. Or by using Steel Wish once, you get your critical hit rate +2. That's an 80% chance of landing critical hits on the opponent. No, just by using 1 Steel Wish. And then Super Sinker, 2 out of 5. After you use a sync move for the very first time in a battle, you get a super effective up next effect to Marnie, which you can use for Iron Head or postpone it to your next sync move. So I can probably imagine how you would do this with your next sync move. So, you know, use your first sync move on the opponent, then use your trainer moves, use Growl, 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 Growl. Lower the opponent's attack stat to minimum, then you still have your super effective up next for your sync move. And, you know, if you have Steel Zone, the sync move will be powered up and stuff. Then she gets 2 sync nuke tiles for her sync move at 2 out of 5. 3 out of 5, you get Enfeeble 1, which lowers the defense of all opposing sync pairs -1 at the start of the battle. So you might see passive skill already has Enfeeble 2. If you have Enfeeble 1, you start the battle with opponents having -3 defense, which is awesome. Because Marnie, you know, gets stronger the lower the opponent's defense stat is, because Marnie is an attacker. And with a high attack stat like that and a high damaging Iron Head, this would be great. This will be great. Fierce Entry 2 raises this, basically at the start of the battle, you start with +2 attack stat. And by using 2 Shout It Outs, you get your attack stat maxed. Growl Might Afflictor 9, basically it's like double drop. If you use Growl, instead of lowering attack -1, instead you get attack -2 for everyone. So this can work. I mean, Growl is a 1 move gauge attack. If you want to postpone your turns, you know, you can ignore Might Afflictor 9 and just keep using Growl. But if you really want to speed up your debuffing process for the opponent, can get Might Afflictor 9 and lower the opponent's attack stat -2 immediately every single time you use Growl. Head Start 1, at the start of the battle, you lower your sync move countdown -1. And as you might know, there is a lucky skill Head Start 1 already. If you give her that one, you basically get Head Start 2 at the start of the battle, which makes you be able to use sync moves quicker. Iron Head is super duper effective 3. If the opponent is weak to steel type moves, your Iron Head gets stronger. And then here comes the sync move multipliers, Metallic Surge 5. If the field or if the zone is Steel Zone, basically powers up your sync move by 50%. Now, she already has a built-in multiplier for this one. So this is an additional multiplier. And remember that her moves are steel type moves. So that also powers up her damage. So it's basically a triple multiplier. A normal default sync move with no multiplier. Steel Zone powers up steel type moves. That's your first multiplier. Your built-in sync move multiplier, which powers up extra when the field is Steel Zone. And Metallic Surge 5, which powers up the sync move by 50%, around that amount, when the field is Steel Zone. Triple multiplier just with, you know, summoning Steel Zone. Or Still Wishes. Wishing for Steel. Wishing for Steel Zone. Whatever. Pecking order, the lower the opponent's attack stat is, the stronger your sync move is gonna be. So basically, 4 sync move multipliers, actually could be 5. 1 is built in. 2 is the innate multiplier. 3 is... Wait, again, sorry. 1 is the built-in multiplier. 2 is Metallic Surge 5. 3 is Pecking Order. 4 is Super Sinker, super effective up next. And 5 is basically Steel Zone powering up steel moves. So something like that, guys. And again, at 3 out of 5, you get Steel Wish, MP Refresh. And then you get another 2 Sync Nuke tiles for your sync move, making Palentine's Marnie quite strong. Now again, as I always say, it's impossible to get every single one of these tiles on your sync grid unless Pokemon Masters grants us an ability later on to get more energy or to get these for free, just like how Cyrus is gonna have sometime soon. So let's discuss this quickly. At 1 out of 5, guys, you're able to get everything. So no need to worry. 1 out of 5, you're getting everything. No problem. 2 out of 5, you start to have to make a choice. I think this will be my choice for 2 out of 5. I will get Critical Eye 1 bottom left on Steel Wish so that I can have my, you know, sync, or rather critical hit rate maxed by using 2 Steel Wishes. I got Growl, Move Gauge Refresh 3 because I have to pass through this in order to get Power Posture. I really wanted to go the other way, but I feel that I don't have enough energy for this. So the more the opponent's attack stat is lowered, the stronger my Iron Head is gonna be. And over here to the top, I got Iron Head Aggravation 1, higher chance of making the opponent flinch, as well as a Move Gauge Refresh 3 to make me able to use Iron Head more often, as well as power up my Iron Head a little bit. I did not get shouted out MP Refresh 2 because I feel that my attack stat is quite high already. I'd rather flinch the opponent rather than get this. But, you know, limited energy. There's no right or wrong. It's just something that I will do, I think, when I have Palentine's Marnie. And next is a 3 out of 5 grid, which you have to think about very carefully because there are so many options for this one. First option I gave here is a Sync Nuke build. As you might see with the purple tiles, I got all 4 Sync Nuke tiles. At the bottom, I got Pecking Order. The lower the opponent's attack stat is, the stronger my sync move is gonna be. I got Metallic Surge 5, powers up my sync move when the field is Steel Zone. I got a Steel Wish MP refresh too so that I can bring Steel Zone back. Unfortunately, we did not get Super Sinker because we do not have enough energy. And then we got 3 different tiles of Iron Head just so that if we are not using a sync move, our Iron Head is kind of going to still be powerful. So that's my first option. Second option is to go full on the buffer. Weaken the opponent. Enfeeble 1 lowers the opponent's defense at the start of the battle -3 instead of -2. Your opponent's attack stat is going to be -2. Just using Growl 2 times will lower their attack stat to negative because you got Growl, Might Afflictor. We got Power Posture, which will power up our Iron Head. The lower the opponent's attack stat is. And we got Pecking Order over here, which will power our sync move. The lower the opponent's attack stat is. Over here to the top, we got Head Start 1 also, which will allow us to use our sync move a little bit quicker. But that's only because I want to get Enfeeble 1. I think I can remove this and go for some other thing. But I think Head Start 1 is also good. The third option, guys, is Iron Head. Iron Head build, as well as a power up Iron Head. So, over here we got Iron Head Super Duper Effective 3, Iron Head Aggravation, Iron Head Move Gauge Refresh, so that we will be able to use Iron Head as quickly as possible, as strong as possible, especially if the opponent is weak to Steel type moves. We had Power Posture over here, which will power up Iron Head the lower the opponent's attack stat is. We got Growl, Might Afflictor, as well as Growl MP Move Gauge Refresh 3. I think I can remove Might Afflictor and choose something else. It's your choice. Again, these are just options that you can decide on. But I think that's a nice 3 options for you for 3 out of 5. Again, you only get Steel Wish MP Refresh 2 at 3 out of 5 and nothing else. And with that said, guys, let us come back to our slide. So, those are the sync grid tiles for Marnie. And now, let us go back to our schedule, which is, again, a reminder for you guys that we have at least 4 sync pairs, 4 new sync pairs coming, excluding the anniversary unit, which will come on February 28, because all these are ending on February 27. And speaking of which, we still have Lucas and we still have Renegade Cynthia. For those who are scouting for the 2 and have not yet been successful, I wish you guys the best of luck. But make sure you somehow save up your gems, save up a little bit of gems for the anniversary unit, which will most likely be a Master Fair. Now, we will probably get 6,000 gems on the anniversary day itself. Last year, we got 3,000 gems for Pokemon Day. That's Pokemon Day, not Pokemon Masters Day. And another 3,000 for Pokemon Masters 1.5 year anniversary. So we might be able to get another 6,000 gems this year. But, you know, 6,000 gems, unless you're super lucky. Yeah, that's just about it. I mean, the Master Fair could be better than all of these. It could also be meh, but it's most likely gonna be a Master Fair, so keep that in mind and save your gems wisely. But reminder that all of these units right now, what you see here are bait. I have to emphasize this because they are bait. They are there. Their role is to steal everyone's gems, deplete everyone's gem stock. They make these sync pairs very attractive, and by attractive, I'll show you guys in a bit with part 2 of this video. They make these sync pairs very attractive, strong, nice, and all, just so that you guys want to scout for them. But yeah, save up is all I can say. Save up a little bit. But as you might know, we still have this banner, which is also amazing. In fact, it might be better than all these banners. Red is so good. It powers up everyone without super effective up next. Red can give you at least 3 super effective up nexts. And not just super effective up next, but also reduce your sync move countdown every single time you use You and Me, his trainer move. Meanwhile, Classic Blue can cover both physical and special damage, so very good for Zelf. I have showcased Classic Blue against a Zelf a couple of times with my Legendary Gauntlet run, but Red is what you're looking for. Red is much better than Blue here, but Blue is not bad as well. So this banner might be better than the others. I don't know. I mean, Red is an enabler, but that's, you know, if you wanna listen to me ramble about Red, watch my other Red videos. It's easy to search for them. In fact, I'll put a link in the description for that. But now, let us move on, guys. And before we move on, reminder, if you haven't hit the thumbs up yet, do it now. Subscribe if you haven't. Help out the channel. We're on our way to 10k. I hope we get to 10k soon, because, you know, every single thumbs up helps with the YouTube algorithm. I'm not sure how it works, but also every comment helps out with the YouTube algorithm as well. So don't just do it in the live chat if you're watching this in a premiere, but also do it in the comment section. I'd highly appreciate that. And I would like to give a shout out right now to all my awesome members for all the support. Thank you very much, everyone, especially my 1-year members. Thank you, Shadowphil. Thank you, Alcin. Thank you, Aryan Singh. Thank you, Blaze. Thank you, John909. Thank you, Cindy Plays. What? Cindy Plays. Cindy Plays Games. What? You have changed your name so many times, I'm confused. Thank you, Roy Mustango. And I hope I did not miss anyone else. Sylvian Plays. Cindy Plays Cinder. Something like that, guys. Anyway, let's move on. If you want to help support me and become a member of my channel, click on the join button down below and join the gang. Join the gang. Let's move on. I've discussed this in my overall who to scout for video, so let's just browse through this very quickly. Palentine's Marnie has the highest attack stat. Signasuit Cyrus has the highest special attack stat. He also has the highest speed stats but the lowest defense and special defense stats. Signasuit Dawn has the highest defense and special defense stats because supports. And I made a little mistake with my analysis for Signasuit Dawn, guys. Her sync move, actually, I mean, I said that her sync move is very much linked to what move level she is. So if you have her 1 out of 5, she gets to recover 20% HP. 5 out of 5, she gets to recover 40% HP. Here's my mistake. She recovers everyone's HP except her own. And her trainer move actually cuts down her HP by 30% every single time you use it. So after learning about that little mistake, I'm kind of torn now whether she's as good as I initially thought, because if she's not able to recover her own HP with her sync move, that means you only have Moonlight to recover her sync move with, or her HP with. And there's only 2 Moonlight MP refresh, no, MP, only 2 MP. And the only MP refresh you can get is a single one by having her 3 out of 5 and by having her use a sync move. So I'm kind of on the fence and confused now with Signasuit Dawn. I'll analyze her much deeper on in a separate video, but for now, these are again the multipliers that you can get for Palentine's Marnie. As you might see, a lot at 2 out of 5 and 3 out of 5. Meanwhile, Signasuit Cyrus all of the multipliers except the built-in Dark Zone thing are at 3 out of 5. Ultimate Bait. Signasuit Dawn, the higher her sync move level is, the better her recovery for the others are. Ultimate Bait units. I mean, Marnie and Bay are slight bait, but not as bait as these two. So, those are the multipliers. It's not fair to compare, you know, supports. I have a separate video for Palentine's Bay just because I could not finish this in time. Let's move on to a deeper look at Palentine's Marnie, comparing her with other steel types. Now, before you guys complain, oh yeah, by the way, these are the other Palentine's units. You can check this out for yourselves. Those are the multipliers. And yeah, let's move on. Here, before you guys complain, I have included a couple of other sync pairs later. But these are, I feel, the most talked about steel types. Or at least, I put Kimono Grimsley there because I feel that Kimono Grimsley is very strong. Palentine's Marnie, Gloria, Kimono Grimsley, Raihan, and Thornton. I'll talk about Steven later. You just wait, guys. You just wait. Okay, Raihan has the highest HP. Thornton, this is a 5-star Thornton. 525 HP, but the highest defense. And sorry, the colors are wrong. But special defense, Thornton has the highest special defense. I made a wrong coloration. Red should be Thornton, blue should be Raihan's special defense, the lowest one. Gloria has the highest speed, and so on and so forth, guys. So as you might see, Raihan's HP just blasts through the roof. But Raihan also has recoil removal in his grid and stuff like that, I think. Okay, so let us compare their multipliers over here. So Palentine's Marnie has those, as we have just discussed. Gloria's sync move multiplier as well as attack move multiplier relies on opponent's sync buffs. So she also has multipliers with Moonlight, or rather Moonblast. I kind of removed them. You don't need them. We're talking about only Behemoth Blade. So I remove all unnecessary multipliers. So for Behemoth Blade and Glorious Behemoth Blade, her sync move, those are the multipliers. Kimono Grimsley, I only have him 2 out of 5. I'm looking forward. I'm hoping I could have him 3 out of 5 when I'm scouting for Palentine's Marnie, because that's the way I can test out how strong Metal Burst could be. Harry 3, if the opponent is flinching, stronger damage. I think he also has Iron Head. Insult to injury, the lower the opponent's defense stat is, the stronger the damage. Metal Burst, Critical Strike 3. Metal Burst is a counter-attacking move, and it can one-shot opponents. Without that multiplier, without all those multipliers, Metal Burst can one-shot opponents. So I really hope that I can have him 3 out of 5 when I'm summoning for Palentine's Marnie. Anyway, built-in target defense down if the lower the opponent's, I think this is Relentless. The lower the opponent's defense stat is, the stronger your sync move is gonna be. Haymaker, the higher your attack stat is, the stronger your damage is gonna be. Meanwhile, Raihan gets a super effective up next. I think he has a lot here. I think you can get this in a trainer move, as well as you can get this by using or by giving him sync grid tiles for that. I think 3 out of 5, or was it 2 out of 5? I think 3 out of 5. Supreme M3, was it? Something like that. Surging Sand, again, as I was saying, Raihan has a lot to do with Sandstorm, so synergizing with Palentine's Marnie is possible. if you get Sand Shelter with Palentine's Marnie. And then Tough Cookie, the higher his defense stat is, the stronger his attacks are. That's let's talk about his iron or steel type move, which is Steel Beam. Raihan also gets Sandblaster 5, which is Sandstorming, 50% more damage, as well as super effective up next, again with his trainer move. And then Thornton, our newest 6-star EX, from Pokemon Masters Day, the higher your, or rather, if the opponent's speed stat is increased, Gyro Ball does double damage. So if the opponent's speed stat is increased, Gyro Ball does double damage. And then built in, if the opponent is flinching, you get to stronger damage, Relentless. The lower the opponent's defense stat is, stronger damage. Now those are the multipliers. Here are the numbers. Tak. And by the way, thank you to my Discord server peeps. Thank you to, Bernard. Thank you, Jack. Thank you, STDK12, for the tools and stuff. If you are interested in seeing how these numbers are computed, I'll link the spreadsheet to you guys to check out. But as you can see over here, Palentine's Marnie's sync move nuke damage is highlighted in red, or colored red, and that means she now has the highest sync nuke damage out of everyone. Highest, strongest sync nuker out of everyone. And speaking of sync nuke damage, everyone here is powered up with Steel Zone. So these are damages with Steel Zone. As for Kimono Grimsley's DPS, I'm not sure. I think this is for Ironhead. I'm not sure, guys, because, Metal Burst can one-shot opponents, but Metal Burst is very situational. It's higher than that, but that's that, guys. So Kimono Grimsley was before the highest sync nuker. Now it's Palentine's Marnie, but again, Palentine's Marnie is an enabler. So basically giving other sync pairs Steel Zone, make them more powerful. And as you can see, Raihan over here, DPS king now with steel type moves, 4,625,505, but the lowest sync move nuke damage. Thornton, on the other hand, Gyro Ball does not exactly do a lot of damage anyway. So that's the DPS of Thornton. Speaking of which, Thornton, did you guys know that his attacks, normal attacks, are physical attacks? His sync move is a special attack, which is weird. Which is why it's kind of hard to set up Thornton. But I did it for you anyway on my baby account. So I'm going to 6-star EX all the Pokemon Masters EX Day Pokemon on my baby account. You guys look forward to that. And so, guys, let's again, I said earlier I'm gonna talk about Steven. So let us replace a couple of these guys. Like Marnie, Grimsley, and Thornton are tech units. Now let's talk about strikers. Let's put some strikers here. Let's swap with Steven and Solgaleo. Yes, there are other steel types, but I mean, Hop is also very strong. But Hop compared to Gloria's damage is still stronger. And you might argue that Signature also has steel type attack. Well, let me tell you now, guys, that Signature numbers DPS a little bit higher than Thornton, and that's it. A little bit higher than Thornton, but below everyone else for her steel type attack. So that's that. Steven has a Haymaker. The higher his attack stat is, the stronger the damage. Power Chain 3 is basically worthless outside co-op. Solgaleo, no multipliers for the sync move, but then he has Brain Teaser. The lower the opponent's special defense is, the stronger the attack move damage. Power Reserves 5, If you have critical HP, your attack is stronger, and I'm talking about Sunsteel Strike. And super duper effective too, powers up your super effective attacks by around 20%. And now, converting these numbers, we get these. Raihan is a little bit stronger than Solgaleo now with the DP, or rather with the sync nuke damage. And speaking of which, we do not have 6-star EX Solgaleo yet, but we are talking about 6-star stats or 20 out of 20 stats in terms of attack DPS. As you might see over here, Solgaleo is pretty high. The lowest one is Steven, but sync nuke damage, Steven is actually quite high. A little bit lower than Gloria, but quite high. And this is considering Gloria's, the opponent has already used a sync move. So this is already considering that you have a double, you know, the target sync buff on. This multiplier is already on. If this multiplier is not active, Steven's sync move damage is gonna be stronger. Divide that probably by 2 or something like that. So keep the numbers, just take note of the numbers. The multipliers are active. And so those are what we have for you guys right now. Palentine's Marnie is an enabler, not just a very strong sync nuker, but also an enabler. Gives everyone the chance to shine with Steel Zone. And yeah, that's basically it. She gets, you know, she is able to give everyone critical hit rate +1 with Team Sharp Entry 1. And then she also lowers the opponent's attack stat -2 and defense stat -2 at the very start of the battle. That would allow Steven, Solgaleo, Gloria to do more damage. Raihan do more damage with Rock Slide, but not Steel Beam because Steel Beam is a special attack. And yeah, that's that, guys. Nice, the buffer unit. Steel Zone Setter gives everyone, you know, critical hit rate +1. Quite nice attack stat and stuff. Is it worthy to scout for her? Well, if you need a good steel type, sure, why not? But again, take note that these units are bait. Unless you have a lot of gems, unless you love Marnie, you know, this is the third Marnie. This is the only sync pair outside Anniversary Lily, outside Anniversary units, that has a double, that has the second seasonal outfit. So, the love for Marnie. I mean, I like Marnie. She's finally smiling normally without doing this. I like it. And yeah, Bay is also very good, guys. I am going to discuss about Bay later on. So yeah, Bay is also very good. So keep that in mind as well. But Marnie, again, Zone Setter. If you're collecting all the Palentine's units, go for it. If you're collecting all the zone units, go for it. If you're, you know, if you just collect every single unit, go for it. If your favorite is Marnie, go for it because of this. I'm just here to give you advice, to give you data. It's all up to you. All I would say is best of luck, and hopefully you guys don't get shafted. Hopefully I do not get shafted as well, because I'm worried about or rather Signasuit. Done. She's my feared unit this time, and I want to get her 5 out of 5 to maximize her sync move. But that's it. That is my analysis for Palentine's Marnie. I hope you learned something. Hit the thumbs up if you did. Let me know how I did in the comment section. And good luck, everyone. None of these are the anniversary units once again. None of these. All of these are bait. Bait, bait, bait. Bait, bait. But who cares if they're bait, right? If you want her, then go get her. Go. Do it. Do it later. Good luck. And if you want an actual test of her, wait for me to get her. Tune into my live stream. And wish me the best of luck. Thank you for watching. This is Sol, also known as SPL Gum, also known as Facial Gum, also known as Grunt. The artist team's called Grunt. And, you know, hit the thumbs up, all that. Leave a comment in the comment section. Become a member of my channel like my awesome members. Let me shout out everyone right now. Thank you to... Let me sort this by the length of how long you've been members, guys. Thank you to Alcin, Shadowphil, Aryan Singh, Blaze, John9019, Cindy the Cinderace Gamer, Royce Mustango, Luca Midi, Popwat, Arima Jose, who has a very weird name right now, Sasri Ambrion, Marcella, and Blue Rose. Thank you all so much for your continued support. Thank you. I really appreciate that. And with that said, I'll see you in the next video. Rawr!